There you go. Live?
Yep.
Hey everybody, welcome to Kat's Creations Live on Friday night. We're gonna try to get through 2 wreaths tonight, or just the process of doing it. I know we had kind of set out something there for a co-create, and the bad thing sometimes about co-creating, unless you've already built the wreath, is you don't know. You're looking at everybody else's instructions and then trying to figure out the flaws in them. For example, the wreath that we're going to be working on first, the felt wreath, there's no real instructions. Someone basically just said, hey, I did this wreath, I cut it out, I used about 27 pieces of felt, but they don't tell you what size felt they used. They don't tell you how many strips that they had to cut. They don't tell you how wide the strips are supposed to be. So you're always, like for me, running around trying to make sure, do you have enough? Like, what happens if I don't have 27 pieces? What happens if I come up short? What happens if it just doesn't work out? So thankfully, it does work out. You don't need as much material as originally forecast. So for people who went and bought the 27 pieces, you will probably have enough if you follow the instructions I gave you tonight to make about 2.5 of the wreaths that I did up here. So before I start, is there anyone there?
Yeah, quite a bit. There's about 73. Peggy, Sheila,
Sorry.
Norma, Audrey, Dawn, Karen, Sandra, Sharon, Linda, Jean, Faith, Sandra, Martha, Gail, Venus, Marlene, Simone, Kathy, Shirley, and Donna, and a few other gals jumping on.
Okay, so
Hi,
thank
everybody.
you, number one, for joining. I apologize for being a little bit late, but literally, we finished up completing this one, I want to say like 20 minutes to 5, and then realizing, number one, the materials list that I put out there tentatively, like I said, based on other people's instructions, is a little more than you need. So when you take those things into consideration, it makes a very affordable wreath, because if you bought the 12 pack of felt, and this I bought from Walmart, it was $2.87, and you get 12 sheets. Well, according to the tutorial, it says to have 9 sheets of each color, or 3 sheets of each color, and they did 9 colors. So that to me is, I need 27 pieces of felt. But they don't tell you, is it a square piece of felt? Is it an 8x8 that they were originally working on? What was the dimensions of the original felt? So throwing those instructions completely out the window, if you use the Walmart 9-inch by 12-inch pack, it comes with 12 different colors, and if you follow the directions like I'm going to give you tonight, this is all you will need, along with a Dollar Tree 14-inch wreath frame, and then whatever embellishments you choose to kind of throw together. Now, let me turn that off. Okay, let's see if we can make it stop. It's probably going to go straight to I know. Here, do this. Okay, it's done. So, where was I at? The instructions for this. So these are the colors that came in this packet. Now Walmart also has one, let me grab the other packet they have, that's more of your darker primary colors. So these are more of the pastels. These are more of your reds, blues, green, white, browns, black. So they do make 2 different colors. So it's up to you. You can mix and match. And if you want to do something color specific, these are great house divided wreaths because they're affordable, they're inexpensive. Sometimes people are just looking for a one-time use only wreath. This would be perfect because with it being made out of felt, it's not going to be durable. So it is made for inside use only. You'll want to make sure that you put a disclaimer on that it's inside use only. because it's made out of felt, and then whatever embellishments you choose to put on it. I'm looking to see where I put my embellishments. Yikes. Bunch of stuff I didn't need. Okay. Wow. Okay. So, again, if you go back to the Dollar Tree store, you can add things like, I was looking for smaller party hats, but if you wanted to do this as a birthday wreath, you can incorporate a party hat. Obviously this one's gonna look a little too big, and just kind of add, what do they call them? The things that you blow? Noisemakers, I guess.
Noisemakers, yeah.
You can incorporate some of those in the design, but it makes for a really good, low-end, affordable wreath. So for people who are looking for something fun, but they don't have 45 to say 65 and up budget, this is perfect. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do something affordable that looks great that you can incorporate into your shop. And if you think about it, what is this, $2.87, $1. If you get the rest of your supplies from Dollar Store or Dollar Tree, this is a really nice hat. $1, so 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I bought little curling ribbon that I thought you can kind of incorporate in there too. What is that? 3, 4, 5, $6.
Yep.
You can probably price this at $25 to $30 and have no problem purchasing that or having it in your store for sale. So, any questions you guys have before I start to show you what you need to do to get your wreath started?
No, a couple gals still joining. Bobby joined, Barbara, Brenda, Deb Peterson, hi, and then Deb Doherty said, hi Kat and Steve, haven't been on for a while, but no questions.
Welcome back. So like I said, for you, this is perfect for someone who's trying to figure out if wreath making is something that they want to do. It keeps the materials cost low. And I know some people will be like, well, I don't want to be selling stuff like that in my wreath shop because I'm marketing towards a higher class clientele. That's fine. But for someone who doesn't have, that is just starting out, this is a really affordable, two affordable designs. So this is our wreath on a budget. We did this for Halloween. We took, I think, less than $15 of materials and made a $40 to $45 wreath. This one is taking $6 of material and making like a $25 to $30 wreath. And so it's gonna be good.
Yeah, Jean brought up a good point. You could basically take the party hat and cut like a third of it off.
Yes.
Make it smaller and then just re-glue the thing on it.
Yes, you could.
Yep.
Definitely do that. Yeah, just downsize it a little bit and then glue. It's funny, it feels like there's two. There is two in here. Wow.
Oh wow.
Okay, so there's two. That's why it felt so heavy. So yeah, we could experiment and see what that looks like. And like looking, would it be even possible? Probably not. I was thinking, could we take this off and then just re-glue it back up? Yay or nay, you might want to do that. But I know there's different Dollar Trees that feature smaller party hats. Unfortunately, the one I went to this morning just had the bigger ones. So, okay, 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. You can pick that up at any Dollar Tree. Or you can pick, you know, a heart wreath or any other shape, but the process is basically the same. Now, once I cut all of my felt from this packet, I had this much left. So I don't know if you guys can see that. Move all this stuff out of the way.
Yeah, there you go.
I had quite a bit left. So this tells me, and I really packed it in there as thick as I possibly could. I wasn't like skimping on it thinking I'm gonna have to dip into another pack. I had planned to cut up both packs, but I was like, let's wait. Let's just do one. Let's tie it all together and see, do we even need to cut into that? Thank God I didn't, because this will allow me the opportunity to make a different variation on it.
So those are roughly 9-inch strips?
These are 9, well, what do you mean?
When you cut them, they're 9-inch
Well, I'll
strips,
show you,
and
yeah.
then you cut them like about a 1/4 inch thick, right?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Okay, so this will just tell you you're gonna have some excess left over depending upon how thick you're going to cut your strips. Now I kind of gauged mine off of what I was looking at in the photo and trying to figure out, are those 1/4 inch strips, are those 1/2 inch strips, how thick are they cutting them? But nowhere in the instructions does it tell you that. So doing it this way, let me see what my strip size was. I want to say about a 1/2 inch strip will be about the best it'll yield the best result, because if you cut them too thin, when you go to tie them, you can pull them and actually pull them apart, or they're so thin that you're using so many to pack in felt. While it fluffs up somewhat, it doesn't fluff up a whole lot like if you were doing a rag wreath. So doing it in about 1/2 inch strips are gonna yield your best result. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna, I use a rotary cutter because a rotary cutter works much quicker and it looks better than cutting them out with the scissors. If you don't have a rotary cutter, you can cut your strips out with scissors. Just make sure that your strip size is equal. So like when I was doing mine just blindly, I mean, I think when I wound up here, I had some wonky shape because I wasn't cutting them perfectly straight from end to end. But you have your cutting mat, and if you have a ruler, I have all my quilting supplies still left, so this makes a really great measuring tool. So what you're gonna wanna do is line it up on your inch mark, just like so. And you're gonna make sure that you cut it in 1/2 inch strips. So making sure they're on the same. And then my rotary cutter, for some reason, I have not been able to find a really good rotary cutter. Even though I'm using Fiskars, I've replaced the blades on this 3 times, and I can never get a really good cut after using these for, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 projects. Then it seems like the blades go dull. So I've just been
I think the felt though really kind of dulls the blade because it's thicker.
It will, and then of course cutting deco mesh. These were designed to cut fabric, not deco mesh. Yep. So that could be another reason too.
And Gail, Sharon, and Sandra, she'll bring the wreath on the door.
I'll bring it closer.
Yeah, she'll bring it closer when she's done showing you how to cut the strip.
So let me show you how to cut your materials, and then I'll show you how we tie on, and then that's going to be a process you guys are going to do throughout the video, or through, maybe you'll pause the video and then come back to it. But 1/2 inch strips, you're cutting it on the horizontal, so you're taking your felt and you're laying it on a horizontal. I'm hoping I got the right ones. And then you're going to take your strips, and it makes it easier. Like when I was prepping all of mine, I would just allow them to fold. So as I was pulling it down, I folded them, and then I would cut it in half so that you have a 1/2 inch strip that is 4.5 inches long. So 1/2 inch, 4.5 inches. Otherwise this is what, yeah, that makes sense, because this is 9 and then this is 12. So you'll go all the way, and you should yield somewhere between, depends on how accurate your cuts are. I want to say Steve did his and got 21. I cut mine, but mine were a little thinner because I wasn't using the measurements and measuring
24.
them. Yeah, about 24, 25 strips.
Yeah, because it's 12 inches, so 1/2 of an inch would get you
24, right.
So you should get on 24.
And you want to make them, they don't have to be perfect. That's the beauty of it. Like the first time we were experimenting, some of them are like an 1/8 inch thick, some of them are cut kind of wonky, but it's great because it kind of looks like a confetti-like wreath, so you don't have to be 100%. But go through and cut every single one of your 12 9x12 pieces the exact same weight, and then just separate them. And I had mine all separated before, so I had all my colors, and I just pulled the colors and I tied them on exactly as I cut them, so that I'm just pulling a handful out. And then this is mindless things to do while you're watching your favorite television program. You'll just take all your strips and go sit down and start tying them all on.
Joanne said the titanium blade is the best. It costs more, but it's worth it.
I would buy that.
And then Bev Orndorff says Olaf rotary cutters are the best.
Okay.
She hasn't replaced her blade in several years.
Okay. Here's a question for those of you that just said titanium blades. Are you guys cutting your deco mesh with the rotary cutter, or are you using wood burning tools? Because I think that's where it started to dull the blades between cutting ribbon. I'm trying to think.
And deco mesh, yeah.
I think the only color I don't have is the dark purple, because that's the one that we only got 21 out of. But we'll do this with what we have. So any questions on cutting them? So you're gonna cut them in strips, 1/2 inch strips. And like I said, because you're doing it this way, and when you go to cut them, you're just pulling them down. I get them to a halfway point, and that's if I'm accurate in my cut. Fold them in half. This is what I kept doing every single one, and then just adding strips to your package. So you have all your pieces cut out from here. So then,
Bev said that it's Olfa, not Olaf, O-L-F-A for the cutting tool.
so that's the same one we did the rotary one on,
Maybe.
the round,
Yeah.
the round cutter.
And she
So we
said
did
she's
that.
never used a wood burning tool, but that's for the deco mesh.
Okay. So yeah, you will need, because you're going to be cutting through felt, it's a lot thicker, obviously, than, unless you're cutting like, maybe like 4 layers of material.
Yeah.
About that. Did you have a question?
No.
Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to start on the outside rim, and you're going to tie onto all 4 rails. So picking your color combinations however you want to do it, you'll get pretty fluent after about the 4th set and start knowing your colors, but it's helpful if you just kind of lay them all out.
Thanks for sharing, gals, Brenda and Peggy.
Yeah, absolutely. Share away if you want.
Donna said my husband is a good cutter.
So Donna, are you gonna have your husband cut all your strips for you? Steve and I like divvied it up. We both did half, and then I started tying while he finished up. So to tie on, you're just gonna tie a simple little knot, and you're gonna not pull super hard. You just want it on there snug, but not tight, because if you pull too much, you'll stretch your felt. So however your color combination is gonna be, you just keep taking them and you just tie them. It's a really good mindless activity to do while you're watching TV. So I'll show you how we get one section done, and I'm just randomly picking colors different than what I did.
Shirley, yep, she said you just you tie one knot, that's it.
Just one. No need to tie anymore, because if you try to tie another one, I don't think you'd have enough. So that's about what it's gonna look like when you just tie, and it's not gonna come off. So I'm just gonna keep.
This would be good, like a sports team wreath, because you could just use 2 colors or 3 colors, like black and yellow for the Steelers. You could use
any color.
blue and white for Cowboys, something like that.
This is a really good, exactly what Steve says, really good opportunity to do a sports figure, because you can just take and put your license plate in the center. You can put a couple little, I don't know, flags, doodads, whatever around that, and it would look amazing. So I originally saw it on Pinterest as a birthday party wreath, and I thought, how cute, because there's lots of moms that are looking for something affordable that would be nice. Remember, you can still use this as a centerpiece if you don't put an embellishment in the middle. So
This would be great for teachers too, because they could actually show kids how to do this.
yeah, it'd be
As
a
long as
good
the
teacher's
pieces are
project.
cut.
Yeah, and this would make a really good back to school wreath. So you can put, you know, like Mrs. Smith's class, and put some rulers and some crayons and some other stuff, and it'd be really cute because they're gonna keep it inside the classroom. So that's a really great point.
Donna said, is that an autism wreath?
It could be.
It could be.
Yes.
You could also make it the cancer ribbon wreath and just do pink and just tie them all, not tie them
There's
all.
so many different things that you can do. So autism, I would probably do something in more of the primary, the darker. Like I think there's one that comes with the dark blue, the dark green. But it's up to you. You can mix and match the colors and find something you like.
Yep.
I think I got them all. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going.
Yep.
So.
Cheryl said it would be cute for kids' door for their birthday. Yep.
Yes. And like I said, it's affordable. They can reuse it. I think I forgot this color. I'm missing this color in here. It's perfect for sports teams, like Steve says, because you can combo the colors. Trying to keep my colors going. And then tying them allows you to also decide if you like the mix and match look that you have.
Lenore asked, can you cut the strips wider so it'll take less time to add on the frame and look thicker?
It won't make it look thicker. It'll just, your strips here will be much wider, so you'll have wider strips. I like the confetti look that the 1/2 inch strips do. But yes, you can. I just don't think that it'll yield the look that you're trying to achieve, if that makes sense. I'm always looking for a way to shortcut it because it's time consuming, but once you cut your entire package of strips, just go sit on the couch and for an hour just tie them all together.
Yep.
And then I have my light green.
Yes, and you said you could do red, white, and blue, 4th
Yes,
of July.
you can.
Kind
You
of
can
like
do
4th of, fireworks.
Yeah, and you can do, I'm trying to think of what else. There's so many different looks, and there's only a handful of people, again, that are selling them on Etsy. So that makes it a really good thing. And plus, when people are coming to your shop and they don't have an awful lot of money, you know, maybe they're just looking for something basic and then they're out. This will just, you know, you have different price points within your shop.
Yep.
This makes a perfect price point.
Brenda said how many strips per section? It just depends, right? I mean, it's going to be...
Depends on how fat you cut them.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of cycling in, and I don't bunch them up a ton because felt, when it lays, if you notice, when you take it and you fold it down, so when you're ready for your next one, it'll kind of stay there until you fluff it up. So you don't want to bunch it too much so that you have some flexibility that you can kind of fluff it and make it puffy, I guess.
There's so many different color combinations. Yeah, you could do Halloween, black, orange, purple. You could do a rainbow, one color in each section. If you have the 6 colors of the rainbow, you could do all sorts of things. Yeah.
Oh.
And yes, these would fit between storm doors.
Amazingly so, because look, I mean, and I have it fluffed up pretty good because I was trying to really fluff it up. But yeah, what is that like?
About only 3 inches.
If that, it's like 2.5 inches.
Yeah.
But, and it's perfect. Like I said, and make sure you, if you make them and you sell them, you put the disclaimer, not for outside use or not for rainy weather. So let me see. In one section, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Down to the size she's cutting, the strips are 1/2 inch. And they're 9 inches long, cut in half, so it's 1/2 inch by 4.5 inch strips.
I got 24 in the outside. And so you know that each time you come inside your rail, it's going to be less and less and less, but 24 per section on the outside. And then you'll go inside and do your next row and your next row, and you just keep going. Like I go all the way around the outside, and then I go all the way into the inside. And I try, when I'm starting my next section up here, I will mix them so that it's not starting with this boysenberry color or raspberry color. I'll pull something from in here and like on my next row so that my colors aren't, you know, all coordinating all the way through. I might start with my blues.
Susan, when she says tying a knot, it's just one tie. That's it. Just tying it once.
Yep, exactly like this. I'm just taking it, and you have to just lightly.
Just kind of cinch it, and that's it.
Yeah, because you don't want to do this, because then it's just going to not look very pretty. So just lightly enough to put it on there. So I would just go to your second row. Instead of starting over, just start like maybe halfway through your color combo, and then go, and then up here I'd probably start yellow, and then up here I'd probably start the greens. Then that way they're mixed.
You could use smaller ribbon too, like a 7/8 inch ribbon, probably non-wired. So, but it's not gonna lay the same.
Yeah, we've tried wired ribbon to do this technique. It does not come out looking really nice because there are such gaps between the ribbon. Can you go in the craft room and grab the ribbon one that's at the very top of the peg wall? I'll show you what it looks like to tie ribbon onto this. We were trying to come up with a way to recycle all the ribbon that you guys know that we cut and generally don't use. So this is super, super fun. And if you cut all the ribbon, you can have your grandkids make this. This will be a perfect, you know, as long as they can tie, just that single tie, allow them the opportunity to make something this summer. Or this would be a great, you know, craft for Vacation Bible School to teach kids how to make once you cut all the fabric out. So it's very affordable, less than $6 per, depending upon what you want to do. If you just want to do this, throw a sign on it and call it done. So this is what it looks like if you take ribbon and you just tie ribbon on. Because there are so many gaps between the ribbon, it doesn't create that uniform look. And these were just scrap ribbons that I pulled and kind of filtered in an entire section just to see would that look good. And it kind of, I just don't care for it. That's just a look I'm not really thrilled with. So, and it's 2.5 inch ribbon, so it's pretty thick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Audra said, do you think it'd be okay on my screened in front porch? I'm in Florida. Yeah.
Yeah. Just keep in mind that you want to keep it away from water.
Direct sunlight.
Yeah. And then any direct sunlight, because direct sunlight, and we're actually going to do this, I was telling Steve, just for science experiment sake, we're going to get a wreath frame like this. We're going to tie on a light and a dark color of like Michael's mesh, Hobby Lobby mesh, Joann's mesh, and Craft Outlet mesh, light and dark. And we're gonna leave it outside. And every week we're gonna take a picture of it, and then we're gonna spray one sample with, you know, UV protectant spray and weather spray and all that stuff. And then the other one we're just gonna leave out, and then we're gonna look how long does it take, if left in direct sunlight, for your wreaths to fade. And do all those products like UV spray really help to reduce the fading? Which ones will fade quicker? This will help you put those disclaimers in your listings for selling.
Yep. Kathy, she's making this is a felt wreath.
Yeah.
So they're 1/2 inch strips, 4.5 inches long, just tied once, tied into knots.
Right. So if you take the packet, you can get it at Walmart. This is about the best price because I think Hobby Lobby has them, but I want to say they sell each individual square for like 50 cents. So unless you're going for a specific color combination, you only need 12 pieces of 9 by 12 inch felt cut at 1/2 inch strips to fill a 14 inch wreath frame. So you can, you know, you can come in and you can add whatever sign you want, whatever embellishment you want. I think it makes it a very nice, classy wreath. So I'll show you what the back looks like. So when you're done tying on, you're gonna wanna make sure you go through and push all your pieces to the front so that all you're looking at in the back is the knots. And then that helps give you a really full look. So don't worry about positioning your knots as you complete each row. So once you finish it, it's funny, it reminds me of like the old looms, like where you take stretchy elastic fabric and you would make those pot holders or stuff for your parents in summer school. That's what it reminds me of looking at this. So you want to make sure and you push all your loops to the front, or all your pieces. So on the inside, you'll have the pieces here. Obviously, that one's there. And then on the outside, you'll have your outside pieces. So make sure that everything is, basically all you're looking at is a knot on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you flip it over and it's flat from tying or from, you know, how it's laying while you're tying it on, you're just gonna take it and you're just gonna fluff it. So you just take your fingers like a light comb and just fluff it.
Hi gals, just jumping on. Brenda said there's a video out there, I guess, that Kristen Haygood heart using small ribbon was beautiful. And then that's a good idea. Peggy said there is a product called, remember that Never Wet? You can actually spray on the felt and it would make it be kind of waterproof outside if you needed to.
We shall try it and see if it really works and what that does to the felt. Maybe it'll, I don't know.
Might
I'm always
stiffen
looking
it up
at
a
it.
little bit.
Yeah, maybe. But then if it stiffens it up, then you can't really fluff it.
Right.
You know, and you want to be able to, as if it's between a storm door and, you know, it kind of gets flat, or maybe it was stored away for the season or whatever, you're going to want to make sure that you have that ability to kind of bring the life back to your little felt strips.
Mm-hmm.
And then this would make a cute little centerpiece for, you know, they could put the cake plate in here and then have your birthday cake on here. So make sure that when you're listing it, you're not just listing it as a simple one-time use felt wreath, but show them what else that they can do. Like I said, you know, you can take your party hat, you can add balloons if you want, you can add the little noisemakers. I just wasn't sure what color combinations were in my pack when I bought it, because all I was able to get when I went today was this color pack. So I wasn't really sure when we were picking up the noisemakers what colors was in that pack. Were they pastel? Were they bright?
Deb asked, did you do one rail at a time or
Yes.
one row at a time? Like
I
one
did
section?
it. Okay, let's move this one back up there. So the way I did it is exactly the way that I showed you here. I just start on the outside and go all the way around, literally all the way around.
So the outside row and then work your way in.
Yeah, and then you go up a row, but make sure that when you're going to your second row, you don't start with the same colors you started in each section, because then it'll just look like stripes all the way through, and you want it to look like a good mix.
Right, unless that's your intent to make
Yes,
solid rows or solid sections.
exactly. And you could go, you know, I'm thinking sporting or whatever, house divided. If you had it, you could do half this side done and half this side in another, and then put your sign or whatever your embellishments on the outside.
Cheryl said my felt package said brights on it, and that's what yours says.
Bright? Yeah. What's the other one say? Neutral.
Neutral, yeah.
So let's open this so you guys can see what's in these packets. So besides the pink, so I'll show you what comes in the bright.
Tammy said hi. Hi, Lindy.
Hi.
The gals join in.
Okay.
And Brenda asked how long did it take you from like start to finish?
Okay. Cutting with Steve's help, it took us an hour to cut all the strips, and then it took me 40 minutes to tie everything together. So if I did it by myself, maybe an hour and a half, maybe. Okay, so in the Brights pack, you get that raspberry color, you get the purple, you get the lime green, and these were the exact way that I tied them onto my wreath, exactly like that. And then you had yellow, and then you have orange.
There's a lot of colors.
Yeah. Then you have a darker green, and then a lavender, and then white, and then like this,
Lighter orange.
yeah, or a fluorescent orange, and then you have a darker magenta, and then you have a sky blue, and then you have a light blue. So those are all the colors that come,
Royal blue and light blue.
and that's what it makes that wreath by the time you're finished. So it's just dependent upon you, what you want. And like I said, when you're done, you have quite a bit left over. I mean,
Cheryl said that's a cool idea. Shelly, she just got here. How much have I missed? She already pre-prepped the wreath, and she was showing everybody how to cut the strips and then put the strips on the wreath form. Sorry about that.
so yeah, this is how much I had left. of all the materials, just doing one package of the 12. So I had a lot left. So would this be enough to do half of another one? Probably not. Maybe a quarter of another one. So for those of you that bought 2, maybe you'll have enough to do 3. It's entirely up to you how you want to put them together.
But that's, I mean, that's a great price. It's only $2.89, so you got all that for one wreath. That's good.
Yeah, $6. Well, like I said, and then I bought the party hat and the ribbon, so that's an extra $2. So if you just wanted to do this, because you had some other ideas in mind, this is a great back to school wreath. This is a good
could be autism wreath.
Autism awareness wreath, because sometimes we have a difficult time trying to come up with what colors. When we want to put a whole bunch of colors together, like Steve says, you could do a really great sports team wreath, college theme wreath, stuff like that, because it's low cost and affordable, so you can bring your price points down, get people into your store shopping, and then, like I said, it was meant to be a wreath on a budget.
Yeah. Caitlin's on.
Hi, Kate.
And then Kathy said, how much would you sell a wreath like that, since it's kind of a low?
Well, I'm gonna add more stuff to it, so I will add pictures to the post when I finish it. I'm gonna throw a couple different variations on the signs and see where I want to go. I think I want it for more of a birthday, but I want to make the sign removable so that if somebody wants to hang it up for the wreath on the front door, like people say, oh, look for the wreath on the front door, but then also be able to take the sign off and use it as a centerpiece if you want.
Yep.
So I would probably price it at $30 and be done all day.
That's a good price though.
So if you think about it, $6 in materials. If you keep and if you go to the Dollar Tree, you can get a Dollar Tree sign for, $1. You can add a couple embellishments, maybe bring it up to $10, and you're still making a really good profit off of it. But just make sure you put the disclaimer that you cannot use it outside in the weather.
Yeah.
It's not an outdoor wreath.
Barbara asked, she said, I know someone probably already asked, but can you cut them a little bit bigger strips?
Yes, you can.
Well, you could. Would you recommend not going over like an inch?
Well, let's cut an inch and see what that looks like. Let me do this. We shall see. I just think that, like when we're doing it for rag wreaths, we keep our rag wreath strips at about an inch. Do we do it? I'm trying to think. I think it's 1.5 inches or 2 inches. So when we're doing rag wreaths, we do them a little bit bigger. So let's put this on an inch mark and see where we wind up. Let's cut a couple strips, because I can always go back in and cut them down to 1/2 inch. So we're gonna wanna, so we saw that last section. You'll still wanna come in and cut it. So here's another one. Oh, it's right there. I don't know what it is. So let's tie these on and see what we think. We'll just use this as our sample. So this is what I would do.
That's good, Deb. She said my Walmart only had individual felt at 23 each, so I bought 2 colors. You could definitely just buy whatever colors you want in your theme.
Now this is what I'm noticing. When I'm tying on with the inch thickness, it's pretty tight. So if you watch, I'm just gonna pick the middle rail for now. So when I'm coming in to try to tie this, it's really tight to do that. So it's leaving you with that look rather than this look. So I think it just depends on you. What look are you looking for? So this is 1 inch tied on. That's a 1/2 inch tied on. Is that right? Yeah. Those are 1/2 inch strips. So it's entirely up to you. I just find that these, you could, but I don't think you're gonna get the look you want. I think it's gonna look a little short, and I think you're gonna have lots of gaps.
Julie at Walmart, they actually had the felt packages, or you could buy them separately, also 9 inch by 12, just in individual colors. So it'd probably be best to do it just that way.
Just depends on on what you're looking for. So if you have a particular interest, I know Hobby Lobby sells them in, you can buy them in individual colors. I'm gonna cut this one off.
And then Janet, as you saw, she used her rotary cutter and she just cut them with a little straight edge.
So that's the yield you're gonna get doing that. I don't think it's gonna fluff up to
Hi,
the
Michelle.
extent.
Welcome, Yvonne. She said, when I missed first time watching.
Oh,
You could always go back and share this on your page so you can go back and rewatch it. But she was just showing how to make a felt wreath really quickly, simple, on a budget.
budget wreath. These are called wreaths on a budget. So if you're just starting out or you don't have an awful lot of money to spend, but you also want to kind of jump in and do the whole wreath thing, I'm just doing a comparison of 3 of the other.
Yeah, this would be great for teachers and cute for birthdays and classrooms because a teacher, you could actually cut all this out or
And
have your
have your
aide
kids
do
do
it.
it.
Have your aide do it.
Right.
And then just have the kids tie knots on the wreath form and have them make their own wreaths.
Yeah. So it just depends. So that's showing you what the inch is going to yield. And then this is what the 1/2 inch is going to yield. It's just easier, number one, to tie them when you're using 1/2 inch felt pieces than if you use these. I just have a preference for the longer look.
For the 1/2 inch.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's just me.
Julie said she did a buffalo plaid and did 1.5 inches and they were fine since all strips are the same pattern.
Buffalo felt,
Yeah, was it felt or was it ribbon?
because we're doing felt. So we're just playing with felt today.
Yep.
So,
Brenda, yeah, we got this cutting mat from Walmart.
yeah, or you can go on Amazon, I think, and you can buy them off of Amazon too.
Yeah.
So it's just entirely up to you. It's a totally different look. Just like when I taught you guys how to do the round felt circles. Like when we did cutting them all the round circles out and made it look like rose petals on the heart wreath. That was all done in felt. So don't discount lower end materials and think, I can't possibly, no, I'm not putting that in my shop. They always say that if you have a wide diversity of price points, then you're going to market to a greater number of people. So you never know. You might sell, one $60 wreath, but you might turn around and sell 8 of your felt wreaths done in a wide variety of colors. So it just depends on you. And I think, let me do the measurements on this one to tell you where it winds up. It's about 2.5 inches thick.
Donna said she got her cutting mat at Hobby Lobby. You can use your coupon.
So you could package this in a 16-inch box. So 16 by 16, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
looks like it.
16 by 16. I mean, you could probably get it in
Yeah, probably 16.
smaller. And I would just bring these up anyway so it looks nicer when they open it in the box.
Brenda, it was kind of hard to cut the felt pieces.
With the scissors?
More than just one. We couldn't do 2 pieces at a time. It was
no,
too difficult.
not at all. I mean, maybe if you have like a really extensive rotary cutter,
Yep.
you could do it. But we know that felt's it's gonna wear on our tools
Yep.
more than it would if we were cutting fabric or deco mesh.
Julie
would
said
kinda
she
be the
did a
same.
felt one and a fleece one.
That would be pretty. He's just all over the place.
He's being a brat.
So, any questions you guys have on this? So
No,
I
that's a good
can't.
idea. Jean said if I was supervising kids, I think I'd do like a 10-inch frame.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because at the Dollar Tree you can get 2.
Yeah.
Is it 2 10-inch? I don't know if it's 2 10-inch or 2 8-inch. But yeah, you can make those and make little candle holders. Let the kids make them. Imagine doing them red, white, and green, and allow the kids to make them for their parents for Christmas.
Yep.
Just a little candle holder.
Brenda, the mat, I think at Amazon and on Walmart, this one is 36 by 24. 24 by 36.
Yeah, 24 by 36.
Yeah.
And this is my second one. And the only reason it's my second one is I didn't realize that when you put your hot glue skillet on your cutting mat, it will
Warp.
your cutting mat. So this little funky thing was caused from me putting my hot glue skillet on here while we were doing a live. I
Shelly-
thought my kids had wrecked it.
Shelly Cat does have a lot of her videos on YouTube. She doesn't do them all. She keeps her private videos for her private group, in her private group, but all the Friday ones she does on,
They'll be on YouTube.
they'll be on YouTube.
Unless they're a really horrible quality, because I don't know if you guys have realized this, but if you post your wreath making tutorials on YouTube and it comes out less than perfect, you will hear about it from every single person who watches that video and tells you what a horrible video it is, what a horrible sound quality it is.
That's okay.
And you're like, hey, I'm just trying to show you how to make a wreath. I'm
Can't-
not a film production crew.
Can't please everyone.
No. Okay, so any questions at all about that technique? And then we're gonna move on to the other one.
Linda, that's kind of a good segue. Would you cut plastic tablecloths the same size and tie them on?
We are gonna show you how to do that one, because I told the group that if you wanted to co-create, go to get, what did I say, 27 pieces of felt. And we thought, like I said, this is why I don't generally go, buy all the materials and then we'll all co-create together, because I don't know. So we'll have to do those. If we do those in advance, I have to make it like a week out and then send you guys all the materials list and say, okay, next Friday we're gonna take this, put it together, and this is what it's gonna be. So, oh, before you do that, can you hand me another one of these so I don't have to cut all these off?
Sure.
I will cut these all off in a second. Yeah, but it's gonna be, you guys don't have to worry about tying knots and worrying about them coming off. They won't come off at all. And felt is really difficult to try to undo. Now here's a tip. If you're tying on your felt strips and let's say for example, you weren't supposed to do this combination like the raspberry color, magenta, raspberry, and the lavender. Let's say you meant to put another color in here, like royal blue, but you have them all done here. Just move them to the side and then insert the right color that's supposed to be there. Rather than trying to untie the rest of your knots, just move them. And I had that happen, I didn't realize I had completely, when I was tying on, I was missing the lime green because I thought I had them all done. So all I had to do is go back in on my wreath and just move them and then tie on where I was missing a piece. So don't worry about that. Just slide them over and add them wherever you need to. Okay, so tablecloth one. Was there any last final questions for that?
I will check.
Okay. Before
Hi
we-
gals, just jumping on. Vicky said, I did that same thing to my mat. I was so angry.
I know.
Sherry, the felt strips are 1.5 inches
No.
wide. Oh, sorry, 1/2 inch wide by 4.5 inch long. Sorry
Well,
about that. 1/2 inch wide by 4.5 inch long.
if you're cutting them on the felt squares, we're doing 9-inch strips and then we cut them in half to yield a 1/2 inch by 4.5 inch. Yeah, is that right? 4.5 inch piece. That will be long enough for you to tie them on. Any thicker, like I said, when someone asked if we could do 1 inch or make them thicker, I definitely would say I would not recommend going 1.5 inches because it's gonna be based on the 4.5 inch
Really hard
by
to tie it.
1.5. Yeah, trying to tie that and pull through, you're not gonna have enough material to do that. So, okay, next one. So I told you guys to get Dollar Tree plastic tablecloths. So they come in a wide range of colors. I think I shared on our video, I think I pulled like, I went with pink, yellow, and blue. And then,
Good baby colors.
yeah, earlier today, I went back and added green, purple, and a dark blue. But they have them in solid red. They have them in like a rainbow color, black,
Yep.
red, brighter yellow, orange. So you can get them in any color you want. Again, great wreath. This one you can leave outside because we're using the plastic on here. So keep in mind that lighter colors will fade less noticeably than darker colors will. So to prep this, you are going to, these were super easy to open before.
Yeah, Yvonne said that's an awesome idea. One teens can do with supervision, especially the Girl Scouts or something.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're creating badges.
Okay.
So you're gonna, I'll just show you on one, you're gonna take your Dollar Tree placemat out, and on the back it's got this little fold. So make sure you flip it to the non-folded side, and you wanna go vertically. And what you wanna do, I'm looking to see how big this is.
Looks like 7 inches.
What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they want you to do it in, I like doing it in 2-inch strips. And doing my Dollar Tree scissors didn't really cut through the thickness as well as I like. So this is where you want to break out your really good kitchen shears. And you're going to cut 2 inches vertically up your tablecloth. Remember, not with the folded side here. Flip it over to this side. And we're gonna measure in 2 inches. Flip it this way. So 2 inches in. You are not going to get a perfect cut on this, and nor do you want one. So our goal is to get 2 inches all the way through the thickness of the tablecloth material.
That's a little bit difficult to cut.
Well, I'm trying to keep it on the 2-inch mark as much as I can. I am not a perfectionist cutter, but it's okay. So you want to keep doing that and then cut another 2 strips. So you should have 3 sets of those done. And then what you want to do is take it and fold it in half, like so. And then you're going to cut that, just like that. And then you are going to open it, trying to find the middle piece. There actually is a middle. That's not it. This one actually is. So I'm gonna take these little ones out. That's that fold. And then you're gonna cut straight up the middle here. Sliding, sliding, sliding. Okay. This one didn't cut perfect. So I'm going to actually take those ones out because I didn't have my scissors down. So disregard those ones. So from here, you're going to take these and you're going to cut them into a petal shape. So just like that.
Doesn't have to be perfect.
No, this one is not about perfection at all. So take those, all of those, move them to the side. Do this on the same side. So we're just making them into petal shapes. You don't have to, but it looks nicer if you do. I think this one better. Okay. And then what that's gonna do is when you go, you can actually separate all the little pieces of your tablecloth. And it's helpful if you actually pull them all apart. So that way you're not tying on a double piece because you want them all single.
Shows it would be nice if someone could create a grid for making the strips that you could put chalk on and then lay flat on the felt, and then you could mark your lines.
Yes.
But that's kind of what the cutting mat is for, and then using your cutting mat long ruler that you can kind of go, you know, all the way along and just cut it.
I could have done that. I probably could have found a craft cutter and done it the same way, but this one doesn't have to be perfect. So you just sit here and you pull them all apart. So this is why it saves you from cutting them all individually.
Jean said she kind of gave up knotting, and then now she does the crochet edge.
What is that?
So no flats in your face or whatever.
I don't know what that means.
You know how when you're, I don't know if that's a crochet, but when you're doing your Valentine's heart one, how you pulled it through and then just pulled it like that?
Oh yeah, the loop and swoop.
Loop, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do that next Friday. We're gonna go through and we're gonna do all 3 different rag methods and show you what they yield.
Yeah.
And I'll have them all done. These take a lot of prep work. So you would have all 3 of your colors. So I have blue. Steve was nice enough to actually cut, and we were pulling them all apart before we went live. But you do the same with whatever colors you're going to do, so that when you pick them up, you're just picking up singles. And
That's good to know. Jean said Dollar Tree online actually has some instructions on some do-it-yourself crafts from the store.
oh,
And
very
it kind of
cool.
has the tablecloth one.
That is cool. I liked this one. I like them both. Like I said, some people look at that and go, I think I'll go back to doing my deco mesh and stuff. Again, it's just other techniques to add to your wreath maker's resume, right? Oh, have you made a wreath out of a tablecloth? Well, yes, I have. So, trying to get these all fluffied so you guys can see what it looks like. So if your ends stick when you're trying to separate them like this, you didn't go up to the top and like really cut the corners off, because if you did, they would just separate like the blue one did. So when you're doing it, make sure you snip that the edge off, like go straight in and round it. Don't just cut the corners off. So let me show you what this looks like. And it's nice to just have them like this to pull from. And then we had our yellows. So let me just do a handful of these.
Sharon, I don't know if a rotary cutter would work on these. It wouldn't work with something that thick because you're cutting through a lot of pieces on the tablecloth.
Yeah, like look, these are all just a yield from one section.
Yeah.
So you can see how much you're actually getting. So, okay, you make your piles. So what I did is I just cut one strip and I separated them all to where I had them all in my little piles so they're easier to pick up rather than do this.
So these are what, like 1.5 to 2 inches by how long? Like 5 inches?
These are like 6.5 inches.
6.5. Okay.
Yeah, and they're about 1.5 inches.
1.5 inches?
At the widest point. So what you're going to do is once you pick out your colors, and that's why people are like, well, what colors should I get? And I'm like, whatever colors you want to buy. It just depends. My Dollar Tree today was pretty limited, but we're going to do the same thing. You're going to go back onto your 14-inch Dollar Tree frame, and you're just going to do that single knot. And lightly, these ones are going to take smooth touches, because if you try to tie them too tight, this is what happens. You end up snapping it, and then you're like, ugh. So, gentle touch. They don't need to be on there really tight. I found that if I kind of bunch them a little bit, make them a little thicker.
And don't hold the ends when you pull it.
No.
Kind of pull it at the middle if you can.
And you don't really have to pull them that hard. So you're just going to double them. So every color that you get, double it. So you're gonna put 2 pinks together. And in my case, I did 2 blues together, 2 yellows together, and then I just kept going back and forth. And I think, see how much I got on this one.
Gals, appreciate it if you did this. She's in a public group, so you can share this all you want. Marisol, you can always go back and watch it from the beginning. She did a felt wreath using strips as well, which came out really cute.
Just like the one that's on the door.
Yeah, she can't see right now. I've got it kind of down.
Oh, okay. So here we go. So we're just going around and tying them. And the reason why you do doubles is because, I don't know if you guys noticed, when you just do a single, it's really sheer. So by doubling the look, or doubling them up side by side, the look gets thicker. And originally Steve was looking at me like, why are you teaching them how to make a wreath out of a tablecloth? That kind of, I'm not really liking the look. Until we finished this section, and I was like, okay, that doesn't look so bad after all. So, hang with the process, finish it, get through your section, and I'll show you what a section looks like. So I'm trying to figure out how many actually go in here, cutting them this way. And again, I don't know, because I haven't finished one in its entirety. I've got one section done, because it took us so long to work on the felt one, that I don't know if it's gonna take all the tablecloths. I think it would.
Sue Ann said, thank you so much for showing how to do this.
You're welcome.
Hi Shelly, she says, hi Kat and Steve, we made it through the week. Yeah,
Yes, we did.
Barely.
Yes, we did.
Shelly then said it would be pretty cool if you had some green color tablecloth or felt and put it in the back of the frame, and then it could look like a flower.
Yes, that was exactly what I thought when I was putting the sections together. When you fill an entire section, I'll show you in a second, it really creates a really nice look. And because this is plastic, you can leave it outside in the weather because it's just plastic, you know? Now, the embellishments, however, that you put on, if you have styrofoam or something else on here, may not last. So.
And then Rennie, I mean, she brought up a good point. You haven't finished it yet, but she said, how long would it take to fill it? Seems like it might take forever. Or
it really doesn't take that long. I think we finished one section, and I was doing it by myself, maybe 20 minutes, maybe. So I was cutting and tying, and then I would cut, and then I'd tie, and then I'd cut, and then I'd tie. So I was like, took me to cut and tie. One section was just about 20 minutes.
Linda, this probably would. She said, so this would be good for a cemetery, so it would last a long time. Yeah.
Exactly, and you can put whatever you want in it.
Any colors you want. That was Brenda asked. Could you put 3 of each color? Sure.
You could, but watch. It just depends on the look you're going for. Like maybe how dark or how light you want it to be. So this is why I'm trying to see how many will actually fit. And these ones you don't want to squish in there like you would if you were doing a rag wreath. You don't want to bunch them all together. You just kind of want them to be soft. So let me see how many will go on the outside. I think I finished a yellow.
And Shelly, these are plastic tablecloths from Dollar Tree.
That's exactly what they are. So, okay, so let me see how many I fit in here.
Kathy said, how many tablecloths would you need for one 14-inch frame? Probably just...
We said 6. But I'm not 100% sure because I haven't finished one in its entirety. But, and I still have a lot of material left that we've cut. So let me see, this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Same thing, 24. And this is what the 24 will yield. But let me show you what it looks like when you actually finish a section. This is the section, all done in the plastic tablecloths. So it just depends on what color you're looking for. I wanted something soft for Easter.
Like pastels?
Yeah, so I wanted to go in all the pastels. You can come in and add white. I know they had white, but I really wanted to stay in this color. This is perfect for a baby shower. So you could do it this way, do the same thing. You know, a cake plate in the middle, put a candle in the middle. Trying to think, what other embellishments?
You and Sharon were pretty much thinking the same exact thing. She said, be a cute baby shower wreath and put cupcakes in the center on a cake plate.
Yep, you
could. Or you
could
put diapers in the middle. Yep.
Right, because, okay, here's your materials cost. $6 for the tablecloth, $1 for their wreath frame, and then whatever embellishments you want to put. Now this is what I came up with is, I'm still finishing this, and I apologize for not having one finished. I didn't realize how long it was gonna take to cut and then get that going, and I probably should have just stuck with one, but I really wanted to show you the techniques because it's the same. You're using different materials cut different ways, but you can yield two different looks. So if you go to the Dollar Tree, they have their plastic Easter eggs like this, or styrofoam Easter eggs. So they come in a packet of 10, and these are $1. So if you added these to that with a cute little Dollar Tree Easter sign, what, 6, 7, 8, 9, $9. But look how cute these look when you just kind of lay them in here like so. So you can take that one. Let's see what the yellow or the blue looks like.
Rennie asked, do you feel like it's cost effective if you are selling them? I mean, it's going to be a low price point, so that's just, it'd be another, low version of something to have on your store that's a lower price point.
Right. It's for the people who still want to have something really cute on their front door. They don't want to go to Walmart and buy a, whatever it is, $20, $25 wreath. It's just showing you ways that for people who want to try their hand at this and they don't want to spend a grip load of money, they can't invest in a $5 roll of deco mesh and then cut it up and find out it doesn't look good. Start small, start affordable. These are a great price point. These you could sell at craft fairs or wherever all year round. And again, price point for this, there's people who are doing this in all kinds of colors. They're doing them in college colors, and they put their college theme in here, and they throw a couple footballs or a couple basketballs, baseballs, whatever. They're selling them like crazy, $25, $30, $35. So again, it's a great starter price point to get people into your store to know what you're capable of doing. You can always tell them these are customizable. You can do them in any color. Someone wants to do a gender reveal. I remember, God, I probably should have grabbed more embellishments. You could put baby bottles in here. You could put pacifiers in here if you were doing a baby shower wreath.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
You could put whatever the baby's due date is on a cute little chalkboard sign and incorporate that. You can put a bow on here. Dollar Tree has really super cute baby blue with white polka dot ribbon, and also the pink. I don't think they have yellow. Jean can tell us because Jean knows. But those are $1 a roll, and it's perfect keeping your costs low, and almost everyone has a Dollar Tree near them. Dollar General, I don't know if the products are the same, but this is a great look for someone who's looking for something low point, just a starter wreath. Someone who's on a tight budget. Not everybody can afford a $70, $90, $125 wreath. Yep. These are perfect to get people to know who you are and what you're capable of doing.
Michelle asked, do you tie on each bar in each section?
Yes.
2 colors at a time, so 2 pink and 2 blue, 2 yellow, just to give it some.
So we're doing the same thing on the back. So I've completed one section to show you, and I'll post pictures as soon as I finish when we're done, because I'll finish this and get this posted, and I'll actually finish it. And I might just, for picture wise, I will probably do it 2 different ways. I will do one as a baby shower wreath, and then I'll do one also as a spring / Easter wreath right now. You're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna pull your ties out and make sure that your knots are where they are supposed to be so that you have that full look. Sometimes they wanna just kind of lie on the inside. So you push them all through, and then once they're all in their appropriate sections, like so. So that's your section. You should see only knots. You shouldn't see any of the plastic except for on the outside. And then you would flip it over, and then you're just gonna fluff it the same way. So again, somebody says if you had added light green petals to this, this would be super cute. You could keep on going on the inside and get your flower centers and add flower centers to this. take your needlepoint canvas and put that in the middle and just keep going and fill it.
Marisol said, your strips look shaped. What's the length of each?
They look shaped, but they're not. They're just cut. They're cut like that. So what you're seeing is...
She just kind of rounds the corners on each corner.
Yeah.
That's about 1.5 inches by 6.
So,
roughly.
Remember, we're taking our Dollar Tree placemat. So I'll show you again. Yeah, sorry. Tablecloth. I'm going to try to do this again because it is very thick. I mean, you're doing the thickness of the entire tablecloth on here. I would recommend putting a line on the top of where yours needs to be. So take that, set that aside. We're going to take it, we fold it in half, remember? Keeping your scissors in the middle so that it's this way. We're going to cut those in half. So we have our halves, and then you're going to open them. How did I do this last time? Let me do it this way.
You just gotta find the middle, right?
It's almost like I've already cut them. Like I didn't open them. Because
you probably didn't need to because it was probably a middle section.
You know what? You're right. This was my end. So what you're supposed to do on the ends is you will open them up and find the middle. And I haven't found it yet. And this is the one where I had that extra piece. So here's my middle. I'm gonna take them, cut down the middle, because then it gives me 2 different pieces. And then from here, you cut them into petal shapes.
Just kind of round them and to a tip, to a little
But
point.
hold all your pieces together, otherwise they'll all fall apart. So we're just like kind of rounding them into a petal shape, but we want to make sure that we're hitting that edge on both of them, just like so. So I've
Doesn't have to be perfect.
No, they're not all going to look perfect, but it'll yield this look. And then this, if you sit here and pull them all apart, just yields all of your petals. So it's a shortcut to get them all done fairly quickly.
She also said it'd be great for dorm room doors. Yeah, it would.
Yeah, and I think this would even be storm door appropriate because I don't think it's that that tall.
Sharon, I think she said 6 tablecloths, right?
6. I have 2 blue, 2 yellow, and 2 pink. And I will let you know because I will actually finish this tonight and I'll get the pictures posted and I'll let you know. I will probably, I think the person who I watched said they will have a little bit left over, so you won't use quite all of it. But I don't know what that means. Do you have a strip left? Do you have half a strip left? Do you need a full package? Could you have gotten by with 5?
Karen, that's a good question. We'll have to find out. She said, how do you attach embellishments on it without melting the plastic?
In this case, with these, what would I do? I would probably, since it's on a stick, let's see how I would do that. I would probably do them something along that line, and I probably would use just a smidge of glue to kind of hold it into place, making sure that I had it all fluffed around that, and just cut my, my wood pick off. You could technically wire it if you wanted to.
Yeah,
so if we were here, you could wire this with floral wire onto the wreath if you wanted.
Leave your stick about maybe 1 inch long and cut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on where you stick it, where you want your eggs to fall. But something along that line. And I wouldn't do hot glue. I would just do something low glue and just kind of tuck it in there.
Shelly, yeah, she said anywhere from 1.5 inches to 2 inch strips. And then when you cut it, the strips come out to about 6 inches.
Yeah, I think it's 1.5 inches wide.
1.5 inches to 2 inches by 6.
6.5.
6.5?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you're just gonna sit here like I did, and you're just gonna keep on going all the way around, and it'll
Shelley,
be finished.
You could double the leaves
What's
if you
that?
tie it. She said it would be stronger to tie.
What do you mean?
could like take 2 pieces of yellow.
You could. You
tie
wouldn't
them
have
both
to
at the same
double
time.
them up,
Right.
but I don't know. They just said to do doubles. Like the person who did it was doing a Valentine's Day wreath, and so they had picked pink, white, and red as their colors, and put it on a heart-shaped Dollar Tree wreath frame, and finished it out that way.
Hi Christine, so no problem. She said, sorry gentlemen, I guess I'll have to catch the replay. Yeah.
So I think that's it. What questions do you guys have on either of the processes? I will put finished products up when I finish with this one, and then figure out what embellishment I want to go on that. I think I want it to be a birthday party wreath, but I have to, you know, stage and set your pictures up, put out your cake plate and show them you could use it this way, and then in your description also describe it. This could be used to put your cupcakes on for your kid's party, or if you were doing a baby shower, you could do them, you know, and just like in that one, you could just do little girl colors, pinks, blues, yellow, or pinks, purples, lavenders, the magenta color, whites, and kind of go with that look, and just finish it. So, any questions you guys have?
We've been asking them as we go.
Okay.
Drew said I see a red, white, and blue one coming. Yep.
Which type? Do you see red, white, and blue felt, or red, white, and blue tablecloth one? You can go either or. I think this would look great in either look. So 24 on each outside, and then you know as you build and go on the inside, the length of your pieces are going to be less.
Right.
So we're not going to tie as many on the second rail, even less on the third, and even less on the fourth and final one.
Wow, thank you, Brenda. She said, great ideas. Thanks for sharing.
You're
I've learned so much
welcome.
from you. Y'all should join her group.
On my group?
On your private group?
On my private group? Yeah, if you guys are interested in our private group, we do, right now, we're kind of reconfiguring 2019 a little bit. At the tail end of 2018, we kind of dumped our business classes and went full force with stocking our stores and making stuff. So now we're resuming business classes. So on Sunday, it's learning how to get our Facebook business page open. And the reason why that's so critical is because number one, you can sell from your Facebook business page before you get your Etsy page up. So if you just want to throw teasers out there to people and see, you know, are people interested? Would people be willing to buy? Start with a Facebook business page and throw a couple of your designs out there. And if those sell really quickly, you're like, wow, I might want to go into, you know, either opening my own website, or what I recommend is start with Etsy because it's affordable for now.
Yeah, that's cute. She said, or Shelley said a Valentine wreath would have been nice. You
And
could have done
this.
pinks and reds.
See, it's
Yeah.
one of those, hey.
Same with the felt wreath.
So next Friday is Rag Race. So if you guys want to grab, we're going to show you 3 different techniques. So if you want, I know because we've done these ones already before, I can put out an exact materials list for you on what it would take for you to create 3 different looks in a rag wreath, and then you can do those any which way you want.
Yep.
But that's what next Friday is, Rag Wreath Day.
Sandra said, thanks for sharing new ideas. I really like the tablecloth one. I like them both. It's a fun new idea and wreath for you guys to do.
And
You get
again,
learn more techniques.
these are things that you can start with, you know, VBS, you know, Vacation Bible Study. You can do something like this with a, you know, church group, youth group.
Girl
Yeah.
Scouts.
Exactly. So it allows you the opportunity to do something with your family. It doesn't take hot glue and pins and everything else that become, you know, have to observe very closely. So it won't take me that long. I've already finished my second rail. So I'll just go back in and keep going, and then I'll finish it. I'll add the embellishments, and then I'll post it, and then I'll let you guys know. So there's not that many of these out there, because I don't think people know what they are, because people aren't going to search for plastic tablecloth wreath. They're just going to look for something like an Easter wreath, and then you're going to obviously tell them.
Put your tags on there.
Yeah, this is a all-weather wreath, so you can leave that out. Storm door perfect, whatever you want to do.
Sharon says this one looks like a sunflower. Kind of.
It really does.
If you had oranges and yellows, yeah, it would really look good.
And there's people who do them in the fall colors. So when Dollar Tree comes out with their fall or their Christmas colors, you just pick up, you know, grab a couple placemats, give them to the kids to do, and if they sell them, you know, let them make Christmas money, right?
Jean, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jean, if you're talking about this is tablecloth, plastic tablecloth, and it's 1.5 inches by about 6.5 inches.
Well, you have to watch how it's cut.
Yeah.
Because it saves you from having to cut so many individual little pieces, because you're cutting them in bulk, and then you're ready to go. So I am going to finish this up. If you guys don't have any other questions, and I'll get this posted so you can see what the final product looks like.
Yeah. Have a great vacation, Cheryl. She said we'll catch you in March. I'll have to catch some rays.
Ah, awesome. Have an enjoyable vacation. And I will talk to private group on Sunday, and the rest of you, I'll see you on Saturday, or not Saturday, next Friday. Okay, have a great night, everyone, and have a good weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.